Hello and welcome to tonight's video where we're going to cover what I personally like about League of Legends, the types of players I like, types of teams, and maybe even a regional. We'll do the regional thing first. Just trying to fill videos right now. I tried to start the LPL Week 1 All-Star thing, and I mean All-Pro for the week or whatever the hell I'm doing, and it's a lot of stats, so that'll have to be pushed off to tomorrow. So we're flying by the seat of our pants today. So, regionally, what you know, what do I prefer watching? Keep in mind, this is not to say this is my favorite region, as in what I'm going to rank them in power ranks, things like that. This is more so what do I enjoy watching, the style of play I like. So, theoretically, it actually goes like this: LPL, LEC, LCK, LCS. And the reason why I enjoy the LPL and the most is because of the aggressiveness of the majority of the teams, the variety of teams, the variety of picks we see. And I'm not talking about fearless draft, I'm talking about regular play. I enjoy just aggressive League of Legends. And the LPL provides that. The LPL gets after it. And then the LEC, we have some interesting picks from time to time. They're very innovative. Their meta doesn't really follow the other three regions as much. Best of ones is interesting, and I enjoy that to a degree. I enjoy the personalities in the LEC as well. I believe they have more personality than the other three major regions, and that's something that I look forward to when the LEC is on, is on at the time. Followed by the LCK, because the LCK and LCS are very similar to me in terms of style of play, in which case the LCK is just simply better at League of Legends. They're the best region at League of Legends. In my opinion, there's a reason why we see Korean imports in the other three major regions listed here, and not really the otother way around. Yes, we have LEC and LCS, but that's the end of it, right? So, LCK, for the most part, slow, methodical, macro-based League of Legends, and it can be tiresome. There are some teams at the bottom. Brion is why they're third as well. And then the LCS just kind of plays the same brand of League of Legends, and also very small region now. Next year, of course, with the Americas region, it's still going to be, the LCS will be Americas, and I guess it'll be a 14-team region or 16-team, whatever the hell. But it's still not going to be, in my opinion, the storylines may help it with CBLOL involved. But it doesn't mean that, the play on the Rift is not going to be any better than the LCK for sure. And I don't watch CBLOL, so I don't know how aggressive those teams are relative to the others. I mean, if they provide some aggressiveness like the LPL, they already come with the storylines of the LEC. Clearly, Brazil is upset about this whole thing, so there is a natural rivalry as a result. So theoretically, next year, maybe LCS can be bumped up in terms of watchability. I should probably put watchability here. After that, we have players, the types of players I like to watch. One, aggressive. They get after it, okay? I like a player that gets after it. I always mention Shogun and Taki against Guma Carrier. I am always going to remember Shogun for that. I'm always going to remember Branch for that. Let's talk about this too. Confidence kind of falls under this. And not confidence like cockiness, but confidence to go in there and make something happen. The players that make something happen are the players that I like. And that tends to be an aggressive player. I like the junglers that gank. I don't like junglers that go to 6 and then try and join team fights as much as I like the ones that make things happen. Be aggressive. Champion pools. I say it all the time about Carrier. And one of the big reasons why I'm such a fan of Carrier is that he is a meta setter. Barrel is as well. Now, Barrel ends his face off a lot. But regardless, Carrier in particular sets the meta. He can play any role, at least in the support role. He can play any type of champion, whether it's a top laner. He provides draft flexibility beyond belief. I talked about it in a video a few days ago about how you have a player that can play multiple different. You have a champion in draft, and it provides an opportunity to be played in other roles. It makes you unpredictable, and that's what I like in a team. And frankly, if I had a team part on here, I would say unpredictability, off meta, aggressive teams also in general. It's like this is big for me. I mentioned it here as well. You know, aggressive. And the thing is, people will be like, yeah, but that's because you can't sit and watch the game. You can't appreciate it for what it is. And maybe there's a little bit of that going on. I don't know, ADD, ADHD, whatever the hell, of like watching and kind of just like waiting, and it's like a 1-to-1 kill score at like 15 minutes. It's like, okay, what the hell happened here? Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it just happens. Teams make attempts at plays and they don't succeed, and that is what it is. But, I think about football or soccer where I am. A game that can end 0-0 is not a game I want to watch. If a game can end 0-0 and it be okay, in the mindset of fans, I can't watch it. I just can't. Something has to happen. If someone takes 8 shots, it's a good game. Like, no. Not for me. So, in terms of league, aggressive players, champion oceans, they're high damage. They do their job. They know their role. They're like I said, confident. Maybe they talk a bit of shit. Not toxic outside of gameplay. And they've earned the right to do that towards who they're doing it towards. That's important because people say, well, why don't you like AP? I'll be like, well, if he does it at an international event to somebody that's like literally gonna dominate him, then he probably shouldn't be talking crap to them because, he hasn't really earned the right to do that on the Rift. But regardless, those are some key characteristics of players. I'm trying to think. There had to have been more than just 2, right? I mean, this just limits. I don't know. Like these 2 things are pretty big. These 2 things stick out to me when I think about players. Carry oriented, but then like I said, I like facilitator, jungler, supports. I like supports that know the role, get around the rift, find vision, effective vision. That's why I have vision efficiency now as a stat I utilize, because I believe a player that gets good vision is a smart player, of course, knows where to place the wards, and some players don't do that at all. Some people like the shy. Well, the shy isn't. I don't know what the shy's ward per minute was. We just finally got those stats for the LPL this year on Games of Legend. But you think about players that don't ward. And then, they may be aggressive. They may have great champion oceans. But then they don't ward and they get ganked and die. And then everyone's like, oh, they're camping their lane. This is cringe. It's like, no, it's cringe that they didn't place a ward. So that wouldn't happen. That's why it's cringe. Don't blame the other team for identifying the win condition, which is taking out this player that doesn't ward. That is so cringe. It's unreal. Out of fans. I almost did a video today about what I don't like, and I was gonna put most fans, most of the community. It's hyperbolic as hell. But regardless, I guess this is what I like. In terms of watchability, I like watching the LPL the most. In terms of players, I like aggressive players, which we find in the LPL. Confident players, go into the Rift, make things happen. Champion oceans, players that are going to be interesting. They're going to do different things, and people be like, oh, well, this and that. Oscarin only played K'Sante. It's like, no, he didn't. Look at his champion. So they played. Yeah, but he didn't win on those. That's not my point. I like a player that's willing to try things. If you're willing to try things, that's important to me. Create threats, because if it works, now the team has to respect it. And they didn't expect it. And now that's a curveball, and they have to adjust. If you force the enemy team to adjust, you are ahead, in my opinion. If they're salty run backing the game, the game, then evidently they thought they had something in mind for that, which you might win again, but either here nor there. But that's it for the video. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.